I'm Leo Walter for Kit Guru, and this PC here comes from PC Specialist and is called Fusion Zen. As the name suggests, it runs AMD Ryzen 7, specifically 1700X. This is the first PC we've had a Kit Guru running Ryzen, although Luke, our man who does CPUs, has tested 1800X, 1700X and 1700. Loved them all. Very impressed. This is the middle of the three. We all know Ryzen 5 is coming soon, but as things stand at this moment, Ryzen 7 is the king of the AMD heap. 1700X is the slightly cheaper than the 1800 processor, but you still get the 8 cores with SMT and 16 threads running at 3.5 gigahertz. The graphics card powering Gears of War 4 along at 1440p is a GTX 1070. The card in the machine at the moment is a pallet. PC Specialist also uses Zotac, and there's a bit of a story there. But the hardware in this machine, I would describe it as being hybrid, because Ryzen 7 is really up against Intel X99 Core i7, the LGA 2011-3, rather than Kaby Lake, and the fact they've chosen a 1070 strikes me as an incredibly wise move. 1080 is more expensive, 1080 Ti even more expensive. This is an all-round PC rather than a flat-out gaming rig, multi-core and decent graphics to boot. And it plays Gears of War 4 like an absolute trooper. That, according to my previous test run, average 70 frames a second, minimum 60, which is absolutely lovely. As you'd expect from a company like PC Specialist, they've used solid components throughout this. They're all branded and good stuff. So the case, for example, is a Cooler Master Master Box 5T, which I've previously reviewed. Perfectly decent case. Processor, as said, Ryzen 7 1700X. Motherboard, Asus Prime X370, which is, once again, a solid piece of work. The lighting inside the window is an RGB strip, which is controlled from the Aura software that comes with Asus. I've set it to static. It comes out of the box actually as a sort of default rainbow kind of thing. Perfectly pleasant, just a little bit mind-boggling for the camera. So you've got the duller end of the scale here. Memory, we've got 16 gig Hyper X Savage DDR4 2133. We all know that AMD at the moment is struggling with memory speeds with Ryzen. It would be nice to see something faster than 2133. I'm quite sure we're going to see BIOS updates for the next few months till the whole thing's sorted out. But 2133 perfectly adequate. In time, we are for sure going to see faster memory speeds than that. The SSD in this is a 512 gig M.2. At the moment, it's a SanDisk X400. PC Specialist tells us they're actually going to replace that with a WD Blue, because Western Digital, of course, owns SanDisk now, and they're replacing SanDisk products with their own branded products. So in the great scheme of things, it makes no difference whatsoever, but the SSD you see in this ain't necessarily the SSD you would get. There's also a 2 terabyte hard drive just to give it some bulk storage, which is absolutely lovely. Power supply is a Corsair 650 watt CS, gold rated. We like gold, well, platinum and titanium are even better, but more expensive. Gold, good to see. Integrated audio, Ethernet and all the rest of it. And then the cooler is a Corsair H60 Hydro. We had a war story. I have a war story to tell with this PC. When it arrived, the graphics card, unbeknownst to me, as I mentioned before, Zotac, was actually slightly faulty. It must have had a knock in transit. It's quite curious because the thing wasn't cooling correctly. It appeared absolutely fine. The results were good, but not quite what I'd like to see. And I thought, well, it's Ryzen, a combination of hardware, who knows? Double check the temperatures, the thing was going up to 92 degrees under heavy load and then throttling, clearly faulty. PC Specialist swapped it out, next day in goes this pallet. It's absolutely storming along, temperatures much lower. Instead of 92 I'm seeing 69 degrees, which for a GTX 1070 is absolutely lovely, perfectly happy. So there's that, but the curious thing was when I was looking at the temperature of the GPU and I was focusing on that, and I glanced at the temperature of the CPU, I completely forgot it was AMD. It's been so long since I've done an AMD PC review, and I was looking at the temperatures and it was loaded 68 degrees, idles at 56. It's like, oh, of course, 20 degrees offset for Ryzen. I must say, AMD, the offset thing, not a fan at all. But take off the 20 degrees, idles at 36, 48 degrees under load for an 8-core processor with the SMT 16 threads. Now, that idle temperature, 36, is higher than I would like to see, 36 corrected. And looking into how the Corsair H60, which is a 120 liquid cooler, is hooked up, it's basically running very low fan speeds at idle, which means the temperatures are slightly higher than you might expect to see. Under load, fan ramps up, it gets a little bit noisy. Temperatures are absolutely fine once you allow for the 20-degree offset. So you could have it cooler at idle, but it would make more noise, so it makes sense to go about it the way PC Specialist has. But that, in a way, is the greatest compliment I can pay to this new PC, which is I forgot it was AMD. It is actually entirely irrelevant. Were I making allowances for it being AMD, that would actually be quite disastrous. I'm not in the slightest. It's AMD, I just forgot about it. The fact is X370 chipset rather than Intel X99, I completely forgot about that. It made no difference. Perhaps if I'd focused on the memory speed, that 2133 megahertz, wanting more, then maybe, perhaps, it didn't matter. Gaming performance, as you see in the graphs on Kit Guru, don't forget we're not just a YouTube channel, head to Kit Guru, look at the photos, look at the graphs. Gaming performance is absolutely fine. For a GTX 1070 powered PC, it performs. Happy. But it can also do other things. Go to Luke's reviews of the processors. If you want to do processor intensive work, 1700X is a really good processor. It's £100 cheaper than the 1800X. The couple hundred megahertz don't make a lot of difference. It's a really good CPU. And the thing is, it's brand new. It's only going to get better. There are undoubtedly teething problems that are being sorted out, but they are not roadblock teething problems. They are problems. So faster memory in the future, undoubtedly with BIOS updates, it's going to get better, but at the moment it works. If you want a blazing fast gaming PC, sure, KB Lake's your thing, no, even Skylake, no two ways about it. It has the edge, we know this. But this hybrid PC with Ryzen and a GTX 1070 is a really good PC, and it is a tad cheaper than we expected. We did the what do we think it's going to cost kind of thing with 1,500 to £2,000, sure, but we're at £1,700-1,800. It's not, it's 1,600 including £1,599 including VAT. That is slightly cheaper than you'd expect to pay for this grunt from a PC, which can do a bit of everything. It does gaming, it does video editing, it does general work, and in that sense, AMD has already won because they are taking the fight to Intel and driving down prices, which is thoroughly good. This PC, the fact it's AMD powered doesn't matter, and that is just a revelation. I'm so glad to be able to say those words. So, this PC Specialist Fusion Zen, a success. It is not the best PC on the planet, but by a long chalk is not the most expensive. Clearly, if you stick in more chunky graphics, GTX 1080, or please, Vega, when Vega comes along, then it's going to get better. But as things stand right now, this Fusion Zen PC is a good piece of work, and it is that bit cheaper than we expected, which is a thoroughly good thing. Happy. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. If you want more from Kit Guru, please click to subscribe. Do go visit the website. I'm Leo Waldrop for Kit Guru. This is PC Specialist Fusion Zen.